So after my Denver the Last Dinosaur review, I wanted to talk about more Cue Ball shows. I don't mind focusing on Cue Ball reviews, only if y'all don't mind. And if my videos don't satisfy you, check out the Wacky Dally channel. There's 2 videos on there talking about Cue Ball shows, and they're both fantastic reviews. I'll leave a card on top if you're interested. But today's show was something that caught my attention out of nowhere. I was scrolling through my photos, and then I noticed Todd World. And I believe I was trying to make a thumbnail for this, a potential Timothy Reviews episode. It was probably going to suck, but hey, we can fix that. I was going to make a Steven Universe joke, but nah, I'm good. But anywho, Todd World was a show that came out in 2004 in Canada, only having 2 seasons and 40 episodes. I watched this in 2015 and I remember liking it, but then again, I hardly paid attention to it, so let's give it another look. Man, I love the theme song. A simple message about loving yourself and no matter what everybody else thinks. And I just love the instrumental. The only problem is that this song is a little too long. Seriously, this intro is a minute long, dog. But one of my concerns was that the show is going to repeat the same thing the theme song was just saying, just for 11 minutes. Well, I'm glad to say I was wrong, and right at the same time. Before I get into any of that, I want to say things that I enjoy about the show. Now, the animation doesn't look like something you will see in most kid shows, and this type of animation might turn away some people. Or it can be one of those cringy reviews who didn't see the show and just call it trash. That was a personal shot to me, just saying. I don't really like calling animation bad. You never know how long something takes. Like, come on, dog, have you seen my videos? I'm like the last person that needs to call somebody cheap. My background is still in the work, G. But I actually like the animation in the show. It's nothing too much, it's very laid back, and it fits the vibe of the show. That's one word I can use to explain the show. It's very laid back. Now, of course, there's talking animals in the Alien, but they don't go over the top. They treat it like everybody else. I really like most of these characters. Well, actually, let me change that. I like Todd and Sophie, and I can tolerate Benny in some episodes. But Pickle and Stella? Pickle is just annoying, man. And yeah, I understand that's his character trait. He's the reason I like this one episode that I'll get into later. But most of the time, he's just making trumpet noises. No, like, I'm serious, he makes trumpet noises. But Stella? She gave me a bad vibe as soon as the second episode started. She's sometimes always the reason the episode has to teach a moral. It's like she'll learn in this episode, but then go back to being unlikable in the next one. The side characters were okay. I only remember a few, like the alien I was talking about earlier, the giraffe cop, that annoying octopus thing, the hippo that sells ice cream. I honestly feel bad for not remembering the names. Did you know the worms on Pickle's head has names? I also noticed that Todd has individual catchphrases, like Nito Mosquito, Leaping Lima Beans, Mighty Macaroni. Weird, but at least it's not saying faster than Nick Cannon got fired from Wild 'N Out. You know, one day he's gonna figure out that I'm making this joke and he's gonna hate me for it. In the beginning of this video, I addressed my concerns about how I thought the show was gonna be. I thought it was gonna repeat the same formula of the theme song. And I said I was right and wrong at the same time. I was right because most of these episodes repeat the same message. I was more forgiving on the first episode because I kind of saw it coming, but they reused the same role and it gets a bit redundant. So redundant to where it lead me to my least favorite episode, Underwear Everywhere. The episode begins with Todd putting on underwear on his head to come up with ideas. Note it, if I need ideas, I'm gonna put drawers on my head. But anyway, Todd and Benny walk around with underwear on their head, and it attracts everybody's attention. Once they make to Stella's house, she doesn't want to wear underwear on her head, which means I predicted the whole episode. Everyone will cast her out because her friends are awful, and the episode will end how I predicted it. They apologize to her, and the episode ends. The lesson was not to do what everybody else is doing, and be yourself. The problem is that you could have told this moral a lot better. Just saying, putting drawers on their head was kind of where I draw the line. This is definitely one of my least favorite episodes. It brought up the problems I have with most of these episodes. Almost every episode ends with a moral. Some are good, but episodes like this reveal it a bit too early, and then the episode begins to drag. Another episode that I didn't like was a roaring success. Pickle has a circus in his house for some reason, and a lion named Craig refuses to roar because it's too scary. And Todd says he doesn't have to if he wants to. There. The episode should have ended there. The remainder of the episode was just Pickle and those annoying penguins trying to force Craig to roar. I love Craig's response. He just simply says, "I know I'm brave." Craig is definitely the best part of this episode to me. He's not annoying, he's just trying to vibe. But this episode just lasted way longer than he needed to. There's episodes that handle the moral thing a bit better, but they're kind of rushed. Like Garden Variety Pickle. This episode's kind of what I want. The episode's about the gang wanted to start a garden, but Pickle finds a weed that won't grow. Everyone hates it, but Pickle is fascinated by it. I like the episode because nothing feels dragged, and the moral is perfect. Anyone can see beauty in whatever they want, no matter what everybody else thinks, which I think is a perfect moral. The problem is, it kinda came at the last minute, so the episode kinda felt rushed, which I wasn't mad about, but it was a bit distracting. Other victims was the flavor of the month, my favorite episode of the show, not gonna lie. I was a bit nervous going into it, but the episode was pretty good. I think when they were trying to match up flavors of ice cream, it was pretty creative, and they didn't reveal the moral too early. This was just a fun episode. My problem was that near the end it got a bit predictable. It kind of tainted my spirits a bit. Besides that, I really like this episode. The episodes that don't use morals correctly, meaning the moral only appears at the end and has nothing to do with the rest of the episode, was Peace on Earth. This episode is just annoying. People randomly ask Todd for pizza, and that octopus, this fool took 4 pieces. Who does that? As a matter of fact, that's mad rude to interrupt somebody's picnic and take their food, G. I don't like this episode. What makes it worse, the moral did not make any sense. It really did not need to happen. They thought about it last minute. It's so obvious. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the Dog Days episode. It's not good. It's that typical format where the character feels jealous of another character and it's revealed that the other character is irreplaceable. I do like how Todd ends the episode though. Nice message. Now, probably it seems like I don't like the show, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. Even though some of the episodes weren't written the best, I enjoy the vibe of the show. The characters we met were fun to be around. Well, some of them. I really dig the art style. It's simple and very laid back. The music is something I forgot to mention, but I love the way it sounds. You'll either hear something jazzy, soulful, or just silly. Todd World's problems really came from his ability to tell the moral correctly. I can hear you goofs in the comments section. Yes, I understand the show is for kids, and I really do hate that argument though. Because if it was for kids, then make it something that the kids can relate to. Challenge their mind. Make them want to ask questions about what they're watching. Give them something new. I enjoy Todd World. I find it fun to watch, but it's just the morals. If they handled that better, I would have loved the show. But for what we got, I recommend it.
Hi, I'm Todd, and this is my world.
So if you're ever interested in where I get my songs or Timothy reviews or any other projects, check out the Spotify playlist in the link in the description.